Hello, everybody, and welcome to our third, second, first, whatever, Scrapbooking Fun, Day 4 of Scrapbooking Fun Summit. That makes it easier. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for those who understood what happened with Bet was late. So if you're listening to Bet's replay, go in about 20 minutes and Bet will show up. She was late. We knew that the time zone would cause some challenges. Did you change your time, Erin, or are you...
We did. Yeah, we did. We definitely. I woke up this morning going, I felt like it should have been later. And I was like, oh,
Get an extra
yeah.
hour. Because I know there's some states that don't change time and it gets so confusing with all this stuff. But in the UK changed time last week, so now we're catching back up to regular time. So welcome. We are here with Erin. Erin Reed's presentation was live yesterday, but Erin has a crazy busy life with kids and couldn't make it with us yesterday, but she fit us in today between kid number 1, 2, and 3 off on her adventures. So
are we a kid?
Yeah, we're a kid. We finished.
Thanks, Erin.
You're kid 4 in the mix.
I have ice cream, Mom, please. Okay, sorry.
So Erin has fit herself in today to come on, talk about what she's doing and her project. So we're really excited to have Erin here. She was on our first summit and everybody loved her project. And people have been commenting about your project from yesterday. So people are loving what you did. So we are asking everybody some questions just to get people who don't know you, which Erin is always on time and she's a pro. So some of them definitely know you. That's Debbie J. Where are you in the world?
I live just outside of Austin, Texas. So I am right smack in the middle of the country.
There you go. Excellent. And how are you a card maker, a scrapbooker, or both? Or more than that?
I am a Jill of all trades. I'm the Erin of all trades. No, I love to do all different kinds of crafting. I definitely do lots of card making. And that's what I've been doing for probably the last 4 or 5 years. But I also do felt crafts and kids crafts and coloring. And if you've seen anything on any of my social media, I do a wide range, planners, all kinds of stuff. But I did have my start in this whole crafting business world, actually jump starting this into as a career for myself and as a business in the scrapbooking. So that's how I got started. But scrapbooking pages take a long time and I put out a lot of videos. So card making was a lot faster and I really do love it.
That makes sense.
But I have scrapbook pages all over the house.
Did you say salt crafts?
Felt crafts, like felt.
Felt.
Yes.
Although salt is a really cool thing to use with watercolor paints.
Felt.
Felt.
I've never done like that. That piques my interest now. What can I do with salt?
Salt on watercolor paints? So if you use
I've done that, yes. But now I'm like, can I like build up salt? Can I like create? Can you like do something to make it 3-dimensional? That's where my mind went.
There you go.
How about you find out?
Yes.
Let us know the next time, right?
What will you do next? It's kind of cool. I lost my train of thought. See, there you go. How did you move into making this a business? Like, how's that?
Oh, so I got brave. I started posting things way back when scrapbook.com had a forum. They still do have a forum. They still have a place like a gallery where you can post your pictures. And I guess some people saw what some things I did that they liked. And I look back at those projects and go, ooh, what did they see in that? But apparently, but we all grow. We all do our thing. And so I got asked to be on some design teams. And then one of my design teams said, hey, we'd really love for you to try to do video. And I was like, oh God, that's just so scary. That's just like the worst. Like, oh my God, I can't do video. What does, no. And I did it and I was like, ooh. And then I got braver and braver and I was talking to people and I started a company that I was working with invited me to come to a trade show that was in Houston and I was in Austin. So it wasn't about 3-hour drive. It's not horrible. And I chit-chatted with a couple of people there that also did video and they were making money at making videos. And it's something just at that moment. Sometimes it's just who you talk to, when you talk to them, and is it right for you at that moment? And it clicked. I was like, I can do this. This I can do. This sounds like something I can put forth. And so I really just jumped feet first into the world of video. And in the crafting world, working on design teams and stuff, not everybody was doing that. And so I felt like I got a little bit of a leg in, and then it morphed into the short form videos, which I absolutely love. And I'm having fun with that. And, just because I was putting myself out there, people started coming to me, or I would chat with people when I went to conferences, and it just kind of happened, and yeah. When you manifest good things happen, right?
Absolutely. And I mean, it just shows an example of how the online world can be used in so many different ways. Here we go. We have and we'll get to what your project was, but I just made your envelope card. I made it for our future grandchild. I made it to show all the ultrasound pictures by the week, titled Watch Me Grow in Mummy's Tummy. So excited to give it to them. Very
That's
cool.
a cute idea, like ultrasound album. Like, that's cute.
So do you want to tell us a little bit about your card?
Yeah, so I had for some reason, my overhead camera does not want to connect. So I'll hold it up this way. I don't know why it's being stupid, but we'll leave it. Well,
we've had multiple cameras, we've had echoes, we've had everything going on
two cameras, and normally I just hit a button and I had it working just before we went live. And then, of course, the technology gremlins come in.
Because you can join with 2 cameras here if you can. Restream
it's all connected through my Blackmagic, so right. I can't just log in with that one. It's all connected through my switching system. So it's the camera itself. Something's not connected just right, and I'd have to go trace cables, and I'm not going to go do that while we're live.
No,
so
you can hold it up.
So this is the card version. If you wanted to make it more like a card, I do suggest that if you're going to do the standard A2 size envelopes, the ones that fit the 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, you go to a bigger envelope if you're going to mail it. But it gives you all these little fun pockets that you can put things in, which I just love. And it's kind of cool. But on the scrapbooking side of it all, if you wanted to, and this is where the idea really did come from, is that we are going skiing this Christmas with my parents. And when was it? My son, Morgan, what grade were you in when we went skiing last time? I think he was in 6th grade, maybe the end of 5th grade, somewhere in there. So it's been a while, and he's a senior right now. And I was thinking, okay, well, it's that winter time frame, but and I had never done anything with all those pictures of when we went skiing. So that's where this idea came from. And my mother keeps every single little fun book or project that I give, especially if it's got something to do with pictures. And so that's where that idea kind of launched from, was, well, I want to give this to her because we're going skiing this year, and these are all the pictures. And I was like, I got to come up with a project. And I was like, mini books she loves. She has a whole basket of little mini books that she keeps. So, and then the idea that you can put in extra pictures, and it was using stuff you probably already have. Does anybody else have a bajillion envelopes? Because I make cards, but I don't always use the envelopes because I keep them in a stash. I make them more than I give them away. Oops. But I always have a ton of envelopes. And so some of them are really pretty envelopes, and they're like all pretty colors, or there's the craft ones, even white ones work. And I was like, how can we turn this into something that's a mini book? And that's where that came from. And then I just made cute papers to go along with it because we all like gnomes. So yeah.
Very nice.
Yes, every color in the rainbow and then some. So, but I think I love the ones, the people who have given presentations like this that you can use as a Christmas gift, but it doesn't have to be a Christmas gift. It can be an anything gift, right?
It could be anything. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. My mother was here the other day. They just came in from Canada, and they're here they're snowbirds. They're here for the winter holidays, and through the cold, they're getting away from Canada right now.
Why did you get away from Canada?
I wonder why.
Yeah, it's snow.
I don't have that yet, but it's coming.
And she's like, oh my goodness. And she started putting it in her bag. I'm like, no, do not take that yet. So she was already claiming it and like trying to take it home with her. I'm like, not yet.
You can't have it. I guess you could do that with any side card. So you could even do like a slimline type.
The concept for the envelopes is totally, as long as you have the same size envelope. I mean, could possibly try to do bigger, smaller, but yeah, exactly. Any type of little tiny envelopes, or the 5 by 7s, you could do squares. I mean, sky's the limit. Really have fun. You can even make your own envelopes if you have a specific paper that you want to do, because there's so many templates for envelopes out there, just scoring them. So really is open to everything.
Excellent. Just so I don't forget, because Erin's page is down, but you can still get her freebie if you go to the Meet the Speaker page, and if you're in the VIP, you can still get her VIP gift. So your freebie was Snow Gnome Card Kit. So it's all of the font, or all of the freebies. So the papers, the snowflake papers, it had these in them. There's that one. There was this one. So there was 4 or 5 different, I think there was 4 different like card front panels, which you could just do this as a regular card, and you could scale them up and scale them down. They were on PDFs to fit specifically for this size. So if you wanted to make exactly what I made, you could do that. But you also have them as a PNG file. So if you wanted to make it smaller or larger, so if you wanted to use it on a scrapbook page,
as like what I always call project life cards. They're like 3x4 basically. So if you wanted to use that as like fun little extras on a scrapbook page or just as a card front. So however you wanted to create that.
Excellent.
Lots of options.
No,
and the papers too. There's 2 or 3 different papers in there that you can use as backgrounds.
And gnomes are one of those things that have never lost popularity.
I know.
They have a good staying power. I don't know why gnomes have such a good staying power, but they do for those who love gnomes.
Yeah, even did unicorns, fairies.
Yeah. Even before making this collection, I was like, are gnomes still a thing? Because I really want to make a cute Christmas gnome. And they're like, yeah, gnomes aren't going anywhere. There's gnomes. I'm like, sweet. Let's go with gnomes.
Gnomes are big things. Erin also included in the VIP bundle. If you are a VIP member, if you, as we said, if you're not, take a look at it, because just claiming one of these things is worth it. It's Flower and Butterfly Digi Bundle, which has got 71 digital files, with butterfly dream theme. That just sounds so nice.
Yeah, there's like a watercolor card class. There's a whole digital card bundle, which you could also use for scrapbooking. So there are downloads. There's some SVG files in there. It's a whole, and there's videos to go with 2 of the kits that are in there. So it's all included. Excellent.
So great value in the VIP. If you haven't bought it, if you have bought it, VIP people, as we've been saying, make sure you check out the ones that expire, because there's some that expire. Catherine Puller Inks has a 20% off, and that expires at the end of today. So if you're looking to buy something from Catherine Puller and you're a VIP, go do it. While you're here, and Susan, I hope you found what to buy. So Susan on here won a gift card, plus she has the 20% off. Not from us, she won a gift card from one of Catherine Puller events. So hopefully you figured out what you're shopping for. Some people just don't like gnomes. Yes. Some people don't.
There's snowflakes in there too. But I mean, the whole point of the project was, yes, I made something. So if you wanted to replicate what I had, but I bet you got some cute papers at home. And you have some of those larger card fronts that you could mat on other things to make this project with whatever you have already in your stash. I love being able to use, I don't know, I get a giddy sense of accomplishment when I open up a paper pack and I'm like, this is the last sheet. I've used up the entire thing. I spent my money wisely 10 years later, but still.
Susan said, since your son is a senior, when do you have planned to scrapbook for that? Are you going to scrapbook his senior year?
Oh, am I going to scrapbook for his senior year? I truly have not made a true scrapbook page, and I don't know how long. It's been a while. I'm looking around going, the last one, okay, I have one. So my son's a senior. This is just sitting on the side of the wall. This is probably one of the last ones I made. Not that you have to do them in the order that they come, but I do have them framed. This is one of the last ones I did. This is the one that's a senior. And it was current at the time when I made it, because we had just gone to the beach.
And you can take a picture of him in, I'll say like kindergarten or something like that. And then you could put it next to, the larger picture of him now, like, graduating, and go, yeah, this is him, and you could do layouts like that. It's
gotta have time, right? That's the challenge with all of this stuff.
It's the timing factor. Yeah, truly. So, I mean, I'm sure there'll be something down the line. I did so many scrapbook pages. I almost, and maybe I'm alone in this, but I know I'm not completely alone. Somebody said, I've just gotten so burnt out of scrapbooking because I felt like I was just redoing the same layouts over and over and over again. Mm-hmm. So it felt like it was just the same thing. So I took a step back from truly scrapbook 12 by 12 pages, still paper crafting in so many different ways, card making and mini books and things like that. So maybe that might be more his route, or it could be something that goes in a frame that I decorate somehow.
You just
I feel like you're all under the world of scrapbooking. So
you've just created your next project for our spring scrapbooking fun summit. We know what she's going to be doing if she decides to come back. It's perfect timing too, right? That's when he'll be graduating. It's perfect timing.
Let's do it. That or something to do with his Eagle project, because he's about to get his Eagle. So
there you go. So perfect timing to highlight your graduating son. And there you go. And you can do a card and a scrapbook page too.
Yeah, for my daughter's graduation, like from high school, okay, because then they don't want to talk to you, right? Your parents are nobody. Well, it's true, okay? At least, sorry, that was my case. So what I did is I made an album, and it was a chipboard album, so a smaller type album, and I made it of only of her friends, right? Just her life kind of through high school and that. And what I did is I contacted them and I asked them all to give me a little quote, something that could be shown to the public. I said, of something or little something that, she will understand, whether I got it or not. And And she was opening these pages and taking out the tags with the writing. And she's like, how did you do this? And I was like, I got her, you know. She loves me for 5 seconds.
Your daughters are a little more complicated than sons when it comes to that type of thing. It's good.
But I'm just saying, it was an idea for that graduation for, you know, if Susan, I don't know if Susan's looking for an idea for graduation, but it kind of worked.
It's a great idea. Not even just graduation, right? I could see
yeah,
that for a
anything.
60th birthday party, a 40th birthday party, a 20th birthday party. Actually,
it's easier to talk to some of the 60th.
Tracy, so I turned 60 a year ago. My niece did one for me where she got everyone who was invited to the party, even beyond that, to put words on, and she created a poster, like a framed picture, and it's all the lines of it written in 60. So her one of her friends is an artist, and so she created this really cool image with everything that everyone said in a framed picture. So very cool. So yes,
that was nice.
Yeah,
I remember seeing that and contributing.
I was going to say you contributed to it and didn't see it, but it was really cool because it's hanging there, and I can always go back and see, and it says who said what, which was kind of cool too. And it's written out and readable, and it says, I think it's 60 in it, if I remember. So lots of cool things we can do. Erin, are you a Cricut user, or you go beyond Cricut, or do you specifically use one or the other?
I have a Cricut because that's what I bought. So I had originally years ago got like the little personal Cricut. This is before the Joy. I mean, I'm talking 10 years ago, got that personal one because it was portable, it was small, and I already was familiar with the Cricut, and a lot of my companies that I work with had stuff that had to do with the Cricut. So when it came time to upgrading past my personal and I got a maker, Cricut was a thing. I know some people love their silhouettes and they love their Brother Scan and Cut, and it was the one that I went for. Who knows what my next purchase will be, though? I don't know.
Do you use it for everything, or you do stuff outside Cricut?
Oh, yeah. Because I do lots of stuff. Some of the companies I work with, so with felt, you can cut felt on your Cricut. You just change out the blade. I do lots of stuff with vinyl. So I do lots of vinyl cuts. And yeah, I wouldn't say like that's my most common thing to do, but I do make my own SVG files. So there's a lot of times when I will create the file that I then give for free on my website, or it's part of a bundle or things like that. So yeah, I do lots of Cricut stuff too. And it's not what I would call the most thing that I do, but it's part of what I do.
Excellent. What's so we've had this question a lot, and it'd be interesting for you, but I think I know the answer. What do you do if you're not crafting and running after your children?
Not crafting or running after, like that's all I feel like I do. We had this conversation before we went live, and I was like, I feel like taffy just being pulled everywhere because I'm my daughter's softball coach, and then we're also in Girl Scouts, and then we're in Scouts, and then we've got band, and my son was in football and cross country. So I felt like if I wasn't working, I was running around to all the kids' events. Beyond that, I like watching movies. I really am a big movie buff. I love music, so I love just to sit. I'll probably put on either a movie and get crafting done, or projects done while that's like on my computer side, or listen to music, or go chill in my pool if it's warm enough, or play with my dog.
That'd be nice. I'm jealous of the chill in the pool part.
It's a little cold, but we do have a hot tub that I can turn on, so it's really nice year round.
Okay, so when are we going to see her?
Who?
See who?
Heather, when are we going to go see Erin?
Oh, when are we going to go visit Erin? Okay. I'm like, I see her now.
I didn't ask if we were invited, okay? I'm like, she got the pool, she got the hot tub.
We become
just as a heads up, pretty much everybody in Texas has pools because it's so blinkily hot.
Yes, I used to go to Dallas a lot for work, and yeah, I remember in those days,
they're just
even
everywhere.
Before we got hotter, it was like, okay, things are melting when you put them on the dashboard of your car. It is, yes. Well, with all these people, Tracy, we just need to do a road trip when it's cold up here.
Yeah.
So we can go visit Debbie J in Orlando, Shannon in Las Vegas, Erin in Texas, right?
This is the time of year to come. Like if you're going to come to Texas, now is beautiful. So October, November, December, we have gorgeous weather. February, you might get stuck in some sort of crazy snowpocalypse ice.
Which we don't mind, but nobody there.
No power. But we're not prepared for that. That's the thing, is our infrastructure is not prepared for having that. So everything shuts down and people are nuts. And then we have no power, and it's just, It's crazy around here.
Everybody out going, yeah, it's about time we need to do this. Okay, let's go.
So if you're going to come to Texas, this is the beautiful time to come. It's absolutely gorgeous.
I would agree. I used to go every month, like once a month at least, and I would agree this time is nice getting out and doing that. But the summer is not a fun time to go to Texas.
Do not come in July, August, or even part of September. It's awful.
We have someone who said they love your projects.
Thank you.
Susan said, unfortunately, the wildlife loves her pool more than she does. 4-foot-long snakes do not belong there. Okay, I'm not going in your pool, Susan.
We found one that was this big. We weren't sure what it was, and it started moving around. Of course, my boys were like, snake, how cool. And so we pulled it out. We rescued it. But yeah, we had the snail invasion because we had all the rain and they all decided to come out. And then they decided to be lemmings into my pool and commit suicide into it. But all the little snails.
There's some great advantages of living in a freezing cold environment. Mind you, we do have snakes here too. I have snakes in my garage. So I have dealt with snakes in a different way. But our snakes don't kill you. They don't have
they might be different. I was going to say.
There are poisonous snakes here, but
yeah, most of ours are very harmless. So this was just a little garden snake, and we'll eat the rodents that are running around my backyard. So it's all good.
Same here. I had a garden snake in my garage. I lived in Australia for 2 years where the snakes did kill you. Right? You have a very different perspective of the spiders and the snakes when you live in Australia than any other place. And I'm sure
very true
in the desert as well, where Shannon is, you may have some different animals out there. It's all good. Any questions that you have for Erin? People love your work. There were some, I'm going to check. I think there was a question in Facebook, but I will check and see. I'm
over here looking at questions. I'm not ignoring anybody who's watching.
It's all snakes now.
Here's where my screen is, so I can see what the
I have a question. Do you craft for yourself?
Do I craft for myself? So majority, like for instance, like even this book was because I wanted to give this to my mother. So I would say 90% of what I make is because I want to make it for fun. It's a cool thing to do. I have a use for it in some way. My kids ask me for it. So even like the vinyl projects with my daughter, we wanted to decorate her helmet. So we put her name on it. And so I made a file for a flaming softball. And so, yeah, I do a lot of crafting, and the stuff that you see online is things that I like to do. And so I keep it for myself, or I make it for other people, or my kids ask for it, or things like that. So yeah, I don't just make it to make it. It's making it because there's a need for it, or just because I wanted to, because I like it.
That's crafting for yourself. You do it because you want to, you like it. Erin makes adorable gnomes. See, your gnomes are hyped. I'm scrolling to find. I know somebody had some comments from you from yesterday.
Well, while you scroll, I'm only going to say one more thing about snakes. My favorite TV show now is it starts this Thursday, just by the new season, Killing It. Have you guys watched that? Because it's got to do with snakes in Florida, and it's weird, but it's funny. It's got a combo in there. And anyway, I'm just saying. There you go.
Are they like killing snakes, or I don't get it?
You have. I was gonna say I don't want to ruin what it's all about. It's about it, but it's not.
Okay.
It's all over the world. Place. Okay, not all over the world technically, but yeah.
Personally, I am not watching anything with snakes. I don't have many things that I don't want to see.
Series.
Oh no, it's kind of funny. Anyway, there you go. Sorry.
The new series I've been getting into while I've been like behind the scenes is I'm getting stuff prepped before I go live, or I'm getting my samples ready, or it's just hands and camera kind of stuff, is I'll put on like the Naked and Afraid ones where they go out there and it's the couple that are just, 30 days out in the middle of nowhere and you never know what's going to show up. And and those guilty pleasure. It's amazing to me how people can survive or don't survive and how they freak out.
There you go. Well, Ruth says, okay, you all are persuading me to stay in the UK. Yeah, the UK is pretty safe when it comes to all these things. You may have other problems, but these deadly things.
Yeah, hedgehogs is about it,
we don't
right?
have deadly things. We just have a lot of snow. The Naked and Afraid. I was just going to say the Naked and Afraid show. So that
I'll have to check it out.
What do you make?
It's like two people and they just get shoved into the most weird, like horrible circumstances, and they're given nothing but a machete and like a fire starter and a bag. That's it. And they're naked. So they can't even use their clothes.
They are naked.
Build anything. Yes, because you could use your clothes to do stuff, and they don't want you to have that as a thing. But it's also about like how do you stay warm? How do you do all these things? How do you build a shelter? And it just, you forget that they're naked after about the first 2 minutes of the show, because it really gets down to what are they doing? And how do you survive in these crazy environments? And what bugs do they come across? And what weird stuff do they find to eat? And how, it's kind of guilty pleasure.
Is it on Netflix?
I am watching I think I'm watching it through Hulu. So, or HBO Max, I forget. But it was on Discovery Channel. So it was on Discovery Channel.
Okay. Yeah, some of that stuff in Canada doesn't always make it to us in the same way, but we will look. Yeah. We will look. There's a question, what are you making your Girl Scouts for the holiday? Making with your Girl Scouts for the holiday?
We are deciding what we want to do, but I think we're wanting to do something for one of our local nursing homes. I think they wanted to make Christmas cards for the ladies, for the ladies and gentlemen of the nursing homes, residents. That's the word. I'm like, it's not just ladies, even though we do live longer. So yeah, they wanted to make some to give to them, but they also wanted to make some cards that they could have on stash, also birthday cards and stuff. So if it was one of the residents, it was their birthday, they had a card they were able to fill out and give them, or that the resident could fill out and give back to a family member because they may not be able to go out and get them. Mm-hmm. So I think that was in our purview of things for the girls to make. And it's not like I have a shortage of supplies, so they can have fun.
That's lovely. As my parents were in a retirement home for a while, and I spent a lot of time there with the seniors, and there are people who can't get out to get cards and do stuff. So having that so they can give a card to their loved ones is really, and both
not just giving it to them, but for them to use. Yeah.
I think that's awesome because they can't get out and they want to get out, and it's hard, for them, that's one of the hardest things is they can't do that. So what a lovely thing to do. Very cool. Very smart. Any other questions for Erin in the comments? And we have a delay. We know that. Other than naked and if somebody reads these comments and they haven't seen what we're talking about, they're going to really wonder. We got snakes.
I think all we're talking about is naked and afraid and snakes. So it's all good.
Snakes? What?
Okay. How are you now? So you need to make cards with snakes.
Well, there's some really cute snake stuff out there. I don't know, like Lawn Bond's got some adorable stamps that are like all these little critters, but they're adorable. Yeah. So there are fun ways to use snakes, I will have to say.
You can make snakes in the pool. There you go. You can do something with your
better than on a plane.
My favorite memory of being a brownie was going to sing Christmas carols at a nursing home. Those poor residents have to hear me sing face blue, wide-eyed. Sounds like, so the snakes could be Halloween cards. There you go.
Ah.
Oh boy.
Sorry.
We started something. Or naked, you could start doing cards about naked and afraid.
I love this. Reads the chat. What kind of track off show is this? Yeah, we had the weird topics. It's all good.
Your daughter went to school for zoology and loves snakes. I know people who love snakes. I doubt one of them.
My boys, they're both either into, my eldest is into spiders. That's actually what he wants to study, is go into entomology and go into study spiders. And my other one is all into snakes. So this is the world I live in.
This is the world of mom with boys. Yes. Spiders.
But I'm a marine biologist as my original trade. So I got all into anything living in the water. So it doesn't bother me.
Yes. Well,
as long as they don't bite me, I'm good.
Having lived in Australia, I have a different view of spiders than most people do. When you live in Oz, you do have a different view because the common household spider can kill you, or can kill a baby child like a redback.
We have a couple here too. Yeah, we've got the brown recluse and the black widow. So
now we're going into spider stories. The one that fascinated me the most is something called a whiteback spider. It doesn't kill you; it deforms you.
Oh. My son would be all into this conversation right now.
So tell him to look up a whiteback spider in Australia. When it
bites. Have you heard of a whiteback spider? A whiteback spider?
In Australia.
Oh, he's looking now.
Yeah, it deforms. Like people can actually end up with physical deformations because
he'd be all over this.
Yeah, and there is a close antidote. Like there's one, but it's not quite for them, so they can get it. And that one scared me. The other ones didn't really scare me. And then there's the funnel spider, which attacks. It's the only one that's aggressive. So the funnel spider lives in the garden in a funnel in a hole, and he will attack you. So I said no gardening. I'm not doing gardening. So there you go. We're going back to gnomes. So there you go.
Yeah. Stop with the spiders.
Yes. Stop the spiders. Yeah. Hey,
how many people stopped watching us just because we mentioned these two things that people have phobias for?
Oh
So you
boy.
see a lot of gnomes as your craft. Is that like a theme or a favorite?
I've only done a couple of collections with gnomes, so it was just something that I think are cute, and I just happened to. There was one I did that was I had a Halloweeny gnome, I think, and then there was this one. But no, I don't. That's just recently. I haven't done gnomes that much, truthfully. That's why I even had to look up, are gnomes still a thing, before I made this one.
We have a question.
I'm not normally gnomes. This just happened to be a gnomey collection.
Can you explain the difference between card fronts, inserts, and covers in your projects? You give measurements for all three.
So when I was making, so for instance, if you have a card to the front, so if it's going to cover the entirety of the envelope, that was a card front. So that even this, I would consider a card front. That would be one too, because it's covering the whole thing, versus if you wanted to make a insert, which is what you would insert into there. So it has to be a little bit smaller to be able to fit into there. And then closing this up. And then I also had the inside. So for instance, on this one, because this was one that didn't have pictures, I had a card front, but on the inside, I wanted these to be smaller. So that's why I gave different measurements, but you can size these up and size them down however you wish. So, but I did want if you can think about it as like what would be on the front of the project, or the front panel or the back panel, they're all the fronts. So they have to be as large, or not, they don't have to be, but that's what I chose to make them. But the inserts definitely have to be smaller to fit into the pockets. So
makes sense. Inserts and covers. So yeah, covers were the same.
Yeah.
Excellent.
What's a new? GNUS? What's a new?
Probably not instead of gnomes. I don't know what a gnomes is. How about gnomes? I don't know. We'll have to Google that one.
I've never heard of a new.
I've definitely heard of it. Hang on, I'm gonna look at my phone and see if I can get a picture. Isn't it like a gnome? A new? I've heard of it.
I've never heard of it. You have piqued my interest into what a new. And is that how you pronounce it? Because I'm thinking gnome, like the G is silent. So is it a new? Like, but not N-E. G-N-E.
I get a wildebeest when I do it.
A wildebeest. It's an animal. Like,
oh. Somebody says, yeah, it's an animal.
Is that what you meant? Yeah, I get. Oh, well, I can see all cute, all gun. Well, here's.
Yeah. Oh.
So here's I can share my screen. So there you go.
Yeah.
Oh, I totally missed it. Sorry. Hold it up again. I was looking this way, not this way.
Heather's going to post.
So this is like the all blue baby.
Oh, okay.
And then it's like,
so they do. Bison?
There is some. It's like a bison, a blue bison, yeah. But there's some crafty ones. See.
Got it. Yeah.
There you go. There's the crafty ones. So you could do some crafty ones, Erin.
I will have to say there's definitely a trend into what animals tend to resurface. And for a while, and I seriously think, because this is just my take on this, for 4 years, we were in Phoenix for Creativation, which is where a lot of the big stamping companies, paper crafting companies, think about anybody, Graphic 45, American Art, American Crafts, we all went to Phoenix. And so llamas became a big deal because we were all thinking, okay, it's desert, it's Phoenix. So cacti became a thing, so all of this, they were trying to capitalize on going to this area that was Phoenix. And so cacti became, and so for a while it was like everywhere, because they were making projects and stuff for while we were at the show. Well, now we're moving around everywhere, and this upcoming show is New Orleans. So it's got me thinking, okay, what new thing is going to be in everybody's, like, as a fun little something, and it might take off, it might not, but what's the next thing? Sloths were a big thing for a while. I don't know how that fits into other trade shows, but things tend to be cyclical and move around in terms of a fun animal. That's a big deal. Flamingos were a thing for a little while.
Yes.
So yeah.
Yes.
Maybe the new is the next new thing.
The next, yeah, you got it.
Maybe. You never know what comes next. Gnomes don't seem to go. There's some that never go away. Gnomes, I don't know. They stick around. So there you go. Excellent. Any other questions in the comments for Erin? She has a wealth of knowledge and creativity, as you know. If you have any questions, we had someone on yesterday who was talking a lot about using vinyl. That's all she uses. So that was cool to look at different ways that she was using vinyl. I never understood. Maybe coffee and food would become the next new trend. There you go.
Coffee was in a while ago.
There was a lot of coffee beans and like mugs and things like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Never know. Somebody makes something, and it's funny. It's like there's always this kind of trend, and we've seen it within movies, how there's two movies that launch at the same time, but they've been in production for years, and it's just two different, companies came up with it, and that all just comes together as one. So because we're all going to New Orleans, or people are going to be, there's something that happens in the zeitgeist of our brains that multiple companies come up with the same fun idea at the same time, and they all launch them, even though nobody's been talking to each other about it. So you never know what can happen, because there's
absolutely. It also has a big demographic. A big demographic comes into what's popular, right? There's a great study on why Titanic was so popular. That Titanic released at a different time would not have been popular, but it hit the echo from the baby boom. It hit them, the children who were just, especially the girls, at the right age to make it like kind of hit multi-generations. And had it been released at a different time, it probably would not have been as successful. So demographics definitely come into it as well.
Timing is a thing, cool. For sure.
Coffee is always in. I agree, Susan. Coffee's always in. Good coffee's always in.
Yeah, I'm not a coffee person. I like tea. I'm weird.
Well, tea's pretty in too. I think there's a lot of people who like tea too, so I'm sure there's lots of tea stuff as well. That you should check out.
I thought you were going to start to sing, Heather. Tea too. I thought you were going to start to sing. Tea too. You said. Sorry.
Alana, who was on yesterday as well. She did a tea bag gift card. So she did it so you could put in like different tea bags and then put it like a stocking stuffer.
Oh, cute.
Yeah, it was very cute. And it had to do, I know nothing about paper crafting, but she showed how to score it so that it would hold the tea bags and then slide in different tea bags. And you could use it as a gift to give people tea bags. So there you
go. Erin's going, I might have to look at that one, eh? I can see those eyes.
Well, I tend to make my own. So I actually have my own concoction. I make a turmeric tea latte with almond milk and coconut milk. And so that's but I only can drink it if it's cold outside, and it's too hot right now. We're back to almost, for Fahrenheit, about 75. So it's too hot to drink tea in my mind. I have to drink cold drinks right now.
You can make cold turmeric tea.
Very good. It doesn't taste the same. Yeah. So I'm not an iced tea kind of girl.
You have to share me your turmeric tea recipe, because I keep trying to find a good turmeric tea. And making my own.
It's a lot of like, oh, this sounds good, and this sounds good, and this sounds good, and this sounds good.
Yeah, I like turmeric tea, but I like it hot too. But I have had it cold, and it's not bad if you get the right recipe. New Orleans is famous for food. Anyone got I'm a little teapot stuck in their head now?
Yeah. Go ahead. Keep dancing.
Don't worry about that.
Susan's been posting a few things. I'm like, oh my God, the electric company. I remember that show. But the other show she mentioned, I'm like, no, don't know.
Tea-dyed paper.
Oh, good. I have long time ago, eco-dyed paper, and using different things to dye papers or fabrics. That's always a fun thing to do too. So yeah, there's all kinds of fun stuff that you can do with different levels of tea grades. And so they're more eco-friendly, and you're not using up paint products and things like that. But I haven't done that in a long time. But they're fun.
Go. More ideas.
Beets are great for a color. Turmeric is great for colors too. So yeah, you can definitely go raid your pantry to get colors for creating fabrics and stuff.
Turmeric is great. Just don't get it on your clothes, because it doesn't come off very easy. That one's one of those.
Unless you want it to be on your clothes. Yeah, it's a great color.
It is a beautiful. I love turmeric, but yeah, it definitely stains pretty fast. So excellent. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, and we appreciate that you fit us in between child 1 and child 2 and child 3.
It's my life right now. It's all good. It's all good.
It's all good. Your project was awesome. I love ones that use things that you have on hand. So that was really cool, and people really appreciate it. I'm here for a summit for your I'm here for your comic relief. But we try
to please. Hopefully I didn't scare anybody away with the snakes and spiders and making it afraid.
There you go, Erin. So
somebody posted earlier that we should do a oh my God, I can't think of the words now. A warning before this video.
Snakes and other things for snakes and spiders.
Yeah.
Trigger warning.
There you go. Someone said they used your teapot on Erin's fun fold card from a recent summit from an anniversary card sent to my son-in-law from Japan. So there your inspiration has gone to Japan. So there you go.
Hey, I'll take it.
So thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your run around day. And thank you everybody. We will be back in about 20 minutes with Tracy, with
It could be Debbie.
Is it Debbie? Is it you?
Debbie's next.
Debbie, are you with us next?
Debbie is
I think
next.
so.
Well, she better be.
She may have run away. She's not answering, but there is a delay. There is
Yeah.
a delay. So Debbie's with us next. So we will.
Yeah, no, Debbie is
We will
next.
be with
She might
Debbie
be
Day
getting
next.
ready, so she's not watching this because she's getting ready.
Oh no, she's
there
there.
she
She's
is.
clapping. There you go.
Phew, I was ready. Okay.
So excellent. Well,
So,
thank
yeah,
you
it's
so much.
Debbie.
Thank you for being part of the summit, and
Yes.
everyone look in. If you want to claim the freebies, go and do that now because they'll go down on Monday. So claim the freebies for the general freebie, and if you're in the VIP, look at the butterfly bundle that Debbie, God, see, now I'm going ahead of myself now. Erin has generously
Erin?
offered. So if you're in the VIP bundle, do that. You haven't bought the bundle, last chance to get it before the price goes up. So thank you all, and we will see you in a bit, Debbie. And thank you so much, Erin.
Bye.